Hello, and you're very welcome to the Social History series. Tonight, we are reading a primary source document of which I am the author of, without comment. Disclaimer: all of the um, facts revealed in this item are 100% true, but I have not revealed the names of the people to protect their identity and my own. So let's get started. Inequalities and Discrimination in Walterstown School in the 1990s. I attended Walterstown National School between September 1990 and June 1998 on Great Island in Cork Harbour. We were the poorest family in the entire school, with no welfare and 7 mouths to feed on an honest post office clerk's salary. To compound our misery, my mother had a hysterectomy and spent 6 months in Cork University Hospital in the year after I was born. My father spiraled into bankruptcy as he had no health insurance and had to pay a king's ransom per day for her 108-day tenure in CUH. Like Kaiser Wilhelm II getting Erb's palsy from Princess Vicky's lack of a cesarean, my nativity was to have disastrous consequences as my father, who had built our house in 1976, remortgaged it in 1987 because of me. The school was forever discriminating over people from disadvantaged socioeconomic backgrounds. Allow me to give 2 rather notorious examples. Example number 1: school holidays. At the recess every year in September, irrespective of what class you were in fact you were in the company of 3 classes at once, at all times, as one classroom had junior, senior infants and first class together. The prefab had second, third and fourth in one room, and the other half, fourth plus fifth and sixth, were in the other room of the main building, which is now dilapidated community centre. Anyway, as I said, this was to be the location of the annual humiliation in the Hanley family. The teacher would call the roll and log in the green binder, and we would all answer Ansha Vuntar in Irish, which meant present teacher, or Aslahar if someone was absent. I think if you contact the Irish National Teacher Organisation, they could easily verify that I was present every single day for 8 full years and was graded excellent in every subject in every report on each of those years. In fact, I'd bet my house on it. So next, all the teachers were female. She would begin in a general, arbitrary remark into the group of about 28, all sweetness and light. Did everyone have a nice summer, then? Yes, miss, they would all inevitably crow back like sheep. That was when the torture for my sister, 1 year above me, and I would begin. Now, Clodagh, I'll start with you. Where did you go on holidays? We went to Tenerife. Wow, they were all collectively gushing. And for how long? The teacher would continue, almost to make a big show of it. 3 weeks. And was the weather nice? It averaged high 20s, but it was 32 on the Saturday we arrived. My dad got a hotel near the beach with a pool. Well done. Well, welcome back, Clodagh. Now, James, you are next. Where did your family go? We went to Portugal. And on this boasting session would take a full hour to go through the first 10 people until, of course, it came to my turn. And Peter, what about you? We just went for a drive to Killarney for the day. Did you stay in a hotel? No, we drove home later that evening and ate roast chicken out of the boot of my dad's Mazda. I would be red with embarrassment as all the Walterstown snobs guffawed and laughed at the undernourished Hanleys. 15 minutes later, even though the teacher knew full well the facts, she put my sister through the same exact deposition, and this went on for 8 Septembers in a row. Example number 2, Cove Credit Union. Cove Credit Union was a community-owned savings bank in Cove Town that loaned money to working families for car loans and holidays with lower rates of interest than the Irish banks, who were notorious for ripping people off. Anyway, they set up a savings scheme for primary school students called Sammy Stamps. I had no problem with that in principle at the beginning. Every Friday morning, the school principal would sell Sammy Stamps to students for 25 Irish pence each that you put in a book and had pages of 20 representing a currency of £5 each. They were pink stamps the size of postage stamps. In fact, the scheme was initiated by one of the main teachers who was high up in the credit union committee in Cove. But I never got past page 1. Maybe once every 4 weeks my mother would give me enough coppers To get one single stamp at the end of the year, I would have £1.75 or 7 dog-eared Sammy stamps stuck onto my savings book. Fair enough, this is my own business, but they didn't allow it to be my own business. The teacher's son would produce a crisp £5 note, I remember distinctly, every Friday morning of term, and get a crisp page of 20 stamps per week, more than I got in 3 years. But this was not to be the end of my siblings' humiliation, nor mine either. Twice a year, at Christmas and Easter, the credit union would organise a raffle as a reward for Sammy Stamps Davis in Walterstown School. But you couldn't buy a ticket directly for any of our dozen or so great prices like stereo, CD, radio, tape players, which cost about £40 in electrical stores at the time. No, tickets were awarded to savers at a race of one ticket with your name on in the draw per Irish pound saved or 4 Sammy stamps saved. I had one ticket and never won anything. One year I remember they gave the teacher's son 125 tickets and he wasn't the only one. Most students, apart from my family, had 50 or 60. How the teachers would pat the famous winner on the back and glorify their newfound fame as prize winners. I just wanted to vomit. And now that is catharsis, getting that therapy off my chest. But that I grew up in a society where the 5 social evils were very prominent: want, ignorance, idleness, squalor, and disease. And money was very scarce, and food was very scarce. And the one thing that holds me from becoming very successful now is I just get contented to have defeated the 5 evils and lack ambition, a sort of a capitalist ambition to get a job in the DAX, a sort of a capitalist ambition to holiday in every town in Germany. I don't have that ambition because I have been like a caterpillar who became a butterfly already many times. And I can't go through metamorphosis anymore. It's too painful. I just want to appeal for privacy.